Everyone, let me lend your ears, please, and listen to us carefully. So, our topic is all about Chapter 4, The Strengths and Weaknesses of the Filipino Character, a Socio-Cultural Issue. Schools are important because they help tackle problems that affect our communities and culture. For example, if there's a problem with bullying or discrimination, schools can teach students about respect and acceptance. Additionally, schools can build on the strengths commonly found in Filipino individuals, such as resilience and hospitality, to address any weaknesses they may have, like lack of confidence or communication skills. So basically, schools not only teach subjects like math and science, but they also help shape good citizens and address social issues by using the strengths of the Filipino people. So now, let's proceed to the weaknesses of the Filipino character as cited in the report are as follows. The first one is extreme family centeredness. Extreme family centeredness in Filipino culture refers to an intense focus on family above all else. This can lead to using one's position or power to benefit family members, which can create issues like favoritism, political dynasties, and protecting family members even when they are in the wrong. This can harm the greater good and hinder national unity. For example, imagine a government official who hires only relatives for important positions, regardless of their qualifications, instead of hiring based on merit. This can lead to inefficiency and corruption within the government, ultimately harming the country as a whole. The second one is extreme personalism, refers to the tendency to take things personally and mix emotions with tasks, making it difficult to follow rules and procedures objectively. In Filipino culture, this leads to a preference for personal connections over formal systems, often resulting in favoritism towards family and friends and hiring, services, and even voting. This weakness can lead to corruption and graft in society. For example, in a company, a manager consistently hires relatives or close friends for important positions, even if they are not the most qualified candidates. This preference for personal connections over meritocracy can lead to inefficiency and unfairness in the workplace, ultimately harming the company's productivity and reputation. So, when we say meritocracy, it is the social system in which people's advancements or rewards are based on their abilities, talents, and achievements rather than on factors such as social class, wealth, or privilege. The third one is lack of discipline, means not being organized or serious about tasks, leading to problems like being late, not doing things properly, and always finding excuses. This can make work less effective and cause problems in following rules and finishing tasks. For example, imagine a group project where one member consistently shows up late to meetings, doesn't complete their tasks on time, and always has excuses for why they couldn't finish. This lack of discipline not only slows down the progress of the project but also affects the quality of the work and frustrates other team members. The fourth one is passivity and lack of initiative. Passivity and lack of initiative mean waiting for instructions instead of taking action on your own. It's relying too much on others, like leaders or the government, and feeling okay with things being inefficient or unfair. This can lead to being too patient and accepting of bad situations without trying to change them. For example, imagine a group project where one student waits for others to assign tasks instead of suggesting ideas or taking charge. They might end up doing less work and feeling okay with the project turning out poorly because they didn't take initiative to improve it. The fifth one is colonial mentality. Is when people lack pride and love for their own country like the Philippines and instead prefer things from foreign countries. It's like thinking other countries are better than your own. For example, imagine a Filipino student who always chooses to speak English over their native language like Tagalog or Minaspate because they think it sounds cooler. They might also prefer watching American movies instead of Filipino ones, believing they are superior. This attitude shows the colonial mentality because they prioritize foreign culture over their own. The next one is kanya-kanya syndrome and talangka mentality. Refer to behaviors where individuals prioritize their own interest over the common good, often at the expense of others. This can be seen in situations where people engage in gossip, spread rumors, and criticize others without offering constructive solutions. For example, imagine a group project where each student only focuses on their own part, neglecting the overall success of the project. Instead of collaborating and helping each other, they sabotage or criticize their teammates to make themselves look better. This selfish behavior hinders progress and damages relationships within the group. Similarly, in government, bureaucracies, officials might pursue personal gain or advancement without considering the needs of the community they serve, leading to inefficiency and injustice. Lack of self analysis and self reflection means not taking the time to deeply think about ourselves, our actions, or the world around us. Instead, we might prefer to just skim the surface or not think too deeply about serious issues. For example, if someone keeps making the same mistakes in relationships but never stops to think about why, they might be lacking self analysis and reflection. For example, imagine a student who consistently struggles with their grades but never takes the time to reflect on why they are struggling. Instead of considering their study habits or seeking help, they might just blame the difficulty of the subject or their teachers. This lack of self analysis and reflection can prevent them from finding effective solutions to improve their academic performance. The last one is emphasis on forma rather than substance, means focusing more on appearances or superficial aspects rather than the actual content or value of something. In simpler terms, it's about prioritizing style over substance. For example, imagine a student who spends hours perfecting the layout and design of their project presentation but neglects to thoroughly research or understand the topic they are presenting. Despite having a visually appealing presentation, the lack of substance and their content ultimately leads to a shallow understanding of the subject.
As you've heard already, the weaknesses of the Filipino character, these weaknesses are rooted in many factors: home, social and economic environment, culture and language, history, religion, educational system, mass media, leadership and role models. Change is possible. However, in the following goals are proposed to develop in the Filipino: a sense of patriotism and national pride, to love the country, a sense of the common good, a sense of integrity and accountability, the values and habits and discipline and hard work, the value and habits of self-reflection and analysis, the internalization of spiritual values, and the emphasis on essence rather than on form by Shahani Letitia of 1998, a moral recovery program building a nation. Okay, let's proceed to the Filipino character, strengths, and weaknesses. As you have heard already the weaknesses of the Filipino character, now I am going to discuss the strengths of the Filipino character. In 1998, Senator Letitia Shahani submitted to the Senate this report titled A Moral Recovery Program, Building a People, Building a Nation. This report cites the strengths and weaknesses of the Filipino character. First one is pakikipagkapwa-tao. Filipinos are open to others and feel one with others. We regard others with dignity and respect and deal with them as fellow human beings. Second one is family orientation. A Filipino considers family as an important social structure that they must love and care. Close family ties results to the family still being intact, regardless that the children are old and with families of their own. Joy and humor. Filipinos have a cheerful and fun-loving approach to life and its ups and downs. And we are all familiar with the lyrics of Tawanan lang ang iyong problema. Laughing ourselves in the mess we are in is an important coping mechanism. Flexibility, adaptability, and creativity. Filipinos are good inventors. They often improvise and make productive use of available resources. Hard work and industry. Filipinos are globally recognized for their excellent performance in any physical and technical tasks. Faith and religiosity. Their faith in God keeps them united to overcome all the problems and challenges of life. Last one is the ability to survive. It is manifested in the millions of Filipinos who bravely live through the harshest economic and social circumstances.